now we have to go to this other shocking update. This big case we've been following, the David case. What happened today? Key detail just changed in 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death certificate. Her pregnancy status, 14 years old. You see, what was previously listed as N for pregnant is now marked U for unknown or undetermined. So we're talking maybe. This is according to documents that were obtained by TMZ, and the details are listed on an official amendment page that was added by the physician, the coroner, as part of the record. And this is a clear reversal. I want to talk about that in a minute, but remember, this document lists other changes too. The cause of death is corrected from deferred to multiple penetrating injuries. The manner of death is updated from pending investigation to homicide. It also changes the injury date, hour, place, location to say unknown. The section stating describe how injury occurred now says with objects. And it is important to note, these kinds of changes are not unusual. The original certificate was completed in September after Celeste's body was found dismembered in the trunk of a car allegedly registered of David's Tesla. That's the allegation. And it was only earlier this month that the medical examiner's report was shared with all of us. But here's what we don't know: why that pregnancy status was changed, what evidence led to that reversal, and whether it has any impact on the timeline, the theory of the case. I have a lot of questions about this. I want to bring on Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic expert, certified death investigator from Jacksonville State University, host of the Body Bags podcast. Great to see you, my friend. You reviewed the amendment page of the death certificate with the pregnancy status. It's changed. How unusual is that? Why would that change happen? I mean, what does that signal to you?
Well, it's not unusual to have an amendment to a death certificate. And just to understand, when I say death certificate, this is actually, I guess we could call it an addenda to the actual death certificate. This is a listing. This is an amendment page that is now filed with the Department of Vital Records. And I know that seems very dry, but that's the way this goes about. Either way, the coroner ME has to John Hancock this thing, and we see his signature clearly demonstrated on this document. So that means that there were questions. Now, when you go back, Jesse, and you look at this autopsy report, and you go into the section that talks about Celeste's reproductive system, there is no indication.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was just about to ask you that. There's nothing that says abnormalities that would indicate that she was pregnant. So what am I not? I'm not sure I understand what's going on here.
I might have a hint.
Please.
I'm not sure. So just so folks understand, when we do an autopsy on a female, we will do the dissection on the reproductive organs, vagina, uterus, this sort of thing. And so we're looking for changes that are relative to being consistent with pregnancy. You want to grossly observe if, in fact, there is a life growing within her, correct? They didn't see that, or at least they don't make note of that. Also, there are hormonal tests. I'm thinking right now of actually HCG is the hormone that you're looking for. And given her advanced state of decomposition, that's not a possibility. Here's the hint. I think that maybe at some point in time, someone may have hinted at this. And this has put this ME on the trail of this relative to somebody that could have been in that circle, implying that maybe they heard that she had been pregnant. Now, that's not enough for a clinical diagnosis, but at least it's enough at this point in time, perhaps, to indicate that there's not enough physical evidence to demonstrate this, but yet you have this investigative information coming in that might indicate that.
Are you saying because there were alleged texts, this came out yesterday, alleged texts between Burke and Celeste about sex, pregnancy, abortion, Plan B, so that's the investigative component, that's why they can't rule it out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking right now. And if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, but I think this document was actually stamped today, the 30th. And so when you look at this is something that's a recent manifestation. And again, it's another little piece to this very complicated case that goes to motive, right? you're an attorney, you understand this. That's kind of you don't have to prove motive, but it's kind of the explanation, the underpinning of this.
So to challenge you a little bit, I don't even know how I'm challenging you, but the way I'm thinking about it, if that were the case, they would have said it, right? I mean, if they're going to what are the special circumstances allegations in this case, what they're doing with the murder charge is in order to get life in prison without the possibility of parole or possibility of death penalty, even though there's a moratorium on executions in California, they're saying he lied and he killed a witness. Why not add, she was pregnant and he did not want that to become public? If they had that detail, I have to imagine they would have included that.
Okay, let's knock the tennis ball back and forth here for a second, because what I'm thinking is, was the coroner on the same page as the investigators? Is this information that has now come to them and they presented the coroner with it? You go in, you think about these texts, and that's kind of granular detail, right? And I got to tell you, Jesse, just hearing what I've heard about the text so far, they seem rather inflammatory. And it could be enough to push somebody over the edge. You're threatening him, perhaps, with a career, looking at jail time because of this underage element. There's a lot of texture to this. And so, again, though, we come back to this idea, why did we not hear this from Jump Street? I'm kind of puzzled by this, because this is a big deal when you think about motive, right? And so I'm just trying to understand why this wasn't brought to light sooner.
With about 30 seconds left, are you saying in maybe the next week or so, if we hear law enforcement, LAPD, the prosecutor's office pushing back on this pregnancy idea, that you're saying there might be a disconnect? Because whether there has been a disconnect between the LAPD and the prosecutor's office has been one of the central focuses of this case. So again, about 20 seconds, you're saying maybe be on the lookout for some commentary about this?
Yeah, perhaps third leg of the stool, the people that always forget about the other investigative agency in this, and that's the coroner's office. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd keep my ear to the ground, keep my eye on the horizon, whatever metaphor you want to use. Yeah, I would pay close attention. Remember, this big hearing has been pushed out now to late May, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what develops between now and then.
You're talking about the preliminary hearing when the prosecution has to present at least a portion of their evidence to support the charges. All right, Joseph, you just gave me a lot to think about, but thank you so much for breaking it down and trying to make sense of what's happening here. Always good to see you.
You bet, my friend.